All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I like to give all the honor and praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Barak HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered abroad. It's the brother Barazal here with a lesson, and Lord willing us edifying. All right, and this lesson will be entitled Peace and Safety, and then Sudden Destruction, right? Because currently what's going on, you got this guy Trump, pretty much, been losing his mind, the past couple of days. One day he's saying he's going to obliterate Iran off the face of the earth, right? The next day it's a ceasefire, right? The next day, apparently the Strait of Hormuz is being opened, all right? And now you have what seems like, according to Iran, they violated the ceasefire order, something along those lines, which just goes to show you that, you can't trust this devil, right, no matter what, right? And the scriptures also say peace and safety and then sudden destruction, right? So no matter how much, Esau tries to, negotiate, all right, whatever the case may be, prophecy still has to move forward, right? So this is an article from CBS News, and it says live updates. Iran accuses U.S. of violating ceasefire deal framework as Israeli attacks on Lebanon continue. All right, so let's read what this says. All right, it says Iran is accusing Israel of violating the conditional ceasefire announced by President Trump by continuing its war with Hezbollah in Lebanon. Iran also accused the U.S. of violating multiple clauses of the deal framework. You see? And this completely goes into the scripture that I'm about to read, 2 Corinthians 2:11. All right, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So this doesn't just go for, the Israelites and things like that. This is for anybody, any nation. Because Esau, he is a devil, right? He is known as a deceiver, right? And any type of, treaties that he comes up with or rules that, he creates or agrees to abide by, he always finds a way to go around it, right? Break it, and ultimately all for his own agenda, right? And he's the only one that, pretty much is allowed to do those different things, right? Another example is with, our people, right? The Gadites, breaking, I believe it was hundreds of treaties with Gad. And, we've seen how that played out, right? So this is why it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So you can't trust this man Esau for anything, right? And Esau, he is known as the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, right? So this is clearly talking about Esau. Esau is also known as the wicked, right? Pursuant to Malachi, the first chapter, pursuant to Job 9:24, right? So let's go back to the article. It says Iranian media outlets say Tehran is suspending tanker traffic through the Strait of Hormuz and considering pulling out the deal with Washington over Israel's actions in Lebanon. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said President Trump is aware of reports saying the strait has been closed, but said the reports are false. There were new attacks on America's Persian Gulf allies early Wednesday after the ceasefire announcement, and then reports of explosions on 2 Iranian islands in the Gulf. Energy and stock markets embraced the ceasefire news, with oil still trading well above pre-war levels, dropping below $100 a barrel. Stock markets in Asia and Europe soared, and U.S. futures were up significantly. All right, so let's get a couple scriptures, or let's get the next scripture. So this is the book of Revelation 6:4, and there went out another horse that was red, right? Meaning horse going into power, red representing Esau, because we understand that Edom means red. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace of the earth, going to Job 9:24. So this man Esau has nothing but war in his heart, destruction, the sword. You know, he's not about peace at all, right? And even though, you know, you may see certain parts of this war where, you know, things seem to, you know, being a little bit calm, a little bit stagnant, you know, we understand that you know, this is what's supposed to happen, right? Going to and we're gonna read in Matthew 24:3, wars, rumors of wars, because you know, the end is not yet. You know, it's still the main prophecy that has to come to pass is the MOTB, right? Which we know that, you know, with this economy failing, you know, as this war is getting prolonged, Esau's looking to usher in that digital system. All right. It says, read from the top again. Verse 4 says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace on the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, which that's Esau's blessing. And he's pretty much, you know, been using that, you know, for the past, you know, few hundreds of years to his advantage, right? But, you know, as we seeing this war go on, we're seeing that, you know, this man is continuing to lose power, right? Seeing the weak, seeing they are strong, coming up with their own, you know, firepower, right? Military power, you know, thermonuclear technology, you know, things of that nature. And, you know, we're seeing this man's kingdom go down before our very eyes, man. All right. So this is Matthew 24:3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him, saying unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of that coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, but many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So while we are at the end of this man's kingdom, it's not the end, right? Until we see what? The MOTB come to pass. Because once the MOTB comes to pass, that's when all these different things is going to kind of speed up, right? You know, with the destruction of this kingdom, right? The war, you know, Jacob's trouble intensifying, you know, all these different things, you see? And it says, for nation shall rise against nation, which we're currently seeing, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So this is the beginning of sorrows. Now, with that being said, you know, that don't mean that, you know, Yahushua's return or, you know, the MOTB coming to pass is somewhere in the distant future. No, right? Because what do the scriptures say, right? Which we're going to read, right? Peace and safety, then sudden destruction. So we got to still, you know, keep watch for the prophecies so that they don't take us as a thief. So this is the book of 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. So the Lord, you know, he's not going to, you know, announce, you know, come down and, oh, I'm going to come down in, you know, 5 days, couple months. No, it's going to come as a thief in the night. So if you're not, you know, watching for these prophecies, if you haven't repented, right? If you're not seeking you know, that relationship with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? Making your calling and election sure, that day is going to overtake you as a thief. All right, you go get caught up in all the plagues, destruction, right? You know, the MOTB being implemented, you know, a lot of people going to take it, right? So you're not going to be ready for these times, right? Isaiah 33:6, right? For wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, right? And these people don't have that. Verse 3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. All right. So you can't be fooled by, these talks of, peace talks, so to speak, ceasefires, all right, things of that nature, because you got to understand that, hey, we dealing with the devil here, right? And we also dealing with prophecy, the Lord's prophecy, which, prophecy states that this war is going to continue, and it's going to continue to escalate until the destruction of Babylon, until the destruction of the U.S., to the destruction of the land of Israel. All right. Verse 4, but ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. And that's what we're doing. We're watching. We're not getting caught up in the cares of this life, right? We're not, thinking all this could go on for another 1,000 years. The Lord may not come in this and that and all. All right. We firmly believe that the Lord, hey, this could very well be our last, Passover that we just had, right? Which the Passover, the feast, right? The 7 days is going to end at sundown, right? But, nevertheless, we believe that this can very well be the last Passover, because, hey, we at a pretty good spot in prophecy right now, and we hastening for the Lord's coming. So with that, I'd like to give all the honor and praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Ran Hakodash. Shalom.